I'm asking because this is what might well happen. Under new government plans, banks are going to be able to monitor the accounts of anybody receiving social security payments, and that includes pensioners. The new powers will be part of a strategy to tackle fraud. The government hopes that it can claw back more than £9.5 billion by 2030. Around £600 million of pension credit was thought to have been overpaid last year, some of this because of fraud and some because the Department of Work and Pension made mistakes. Financial institutions will even be banned from telling account holders if they've been snooping on their bank accounts. So I wonder whether you think this is great to protect people from fraud, or whether you think this is just absolutely appalling because it means that they're going to be looking at what you're doing and it's none of their damn business. So let's start with you on this, William.
I'm very wary of any institution or government finding some excuse to monitor your spending, your general habits. You find it, the government declaring war on people by saying you need ID cards for some sort of spurious, illegal migrant reason. I think that, old people should have, friends and family or lawyers who have power of attorney to be able to protect them and to be able to, protect their bank accounts. And, if the department, if a government department has been so incompetent and they have allowed these frauds to happen, and I'm afraid that is probably the real reason, then they need to tighten up the way that they operate and not just blame pensioners and say, oh, well, we're being ripped off by all you crooked old people.
But
we're now going to snoop on you. It's their mistake.
I had this happen to me, actually, very many years ago at the beginning of my TV career, and I was still claiming housing benefit, and I got overpaid £2,000. And I was like, well, it's their mistake. I'm not going to tell them, but I'll put that somewhere safe. And eventually they found out, and I obviously gave it back. But I was like, if you are so incompetent that you're making those sorts of errors, then it's like if you see something on sale and it's been labelled wrong in a shop. By law, I think you can say you have to sell it me at the price that's on here. So if there's a zero missing, it's a £50 dress and they've only put 5 on it, they have to sell it to you for that £5. Yeah. And this is the same, like you said, sort themselves out.
Yeah, go to the office, stop working from home, stroking your cat, having a coffee, looking out of the window. Go to the office, work more efficiently, concentrate, and don't let this happen.
It's not our fault.
This is being sold as, if it's being sold at all. I'm not sure they're doing a good job because we don't seem to be buying it, do we? But being sold as for your own good, to protect you. We get to look at your accounts and see what you're doing, and then if there's something fishy or there's something that doesn't look kosher, we'll come in and save you from fraud. But is that the way you see it?
No, everybody is entitled to financial privacy, and this is a real digital overreach by the government. I definitely agree with you two that they need to sort themselves out. And like I said, pensioners, poorer people, anybody is entitled to financial privacy. And I just think this is the latest in a long line of overreaches by the government, and particularly digitally, where they're trying to just sort of overlord and overreach into everything that we're doing. This is not necessary.
I don't fancy anyone knowing how much I'm spending on Twixes and cream eggs. It's nobody's business. Is it?
And once you have that overreach, as you put it, you then find that you have access to it. Because you'll say, it's much easier if we take back the money that went into your account by mistake. And then you start finding that actually these bank accounts suddenly become sort of government assets. And I think it's very, 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 very dangerous.
They do it. I always feel very uncomfortable whenever I'm remortgaging and they want to see all your accounts, and I'm like, oh God, they're going to see how frivolous I am. I really don't want them to see how much money I'm spending on clothes and shoes.
Quite
and I hate it, but we have to do it for mortgages.
Let's see what everybody else thinks about this. Tony, I'm wondering, do you feel as if you need to be protected by people you don't know looking at your bank account without telling you to see what your fiscal transactions is? Would that make you feel better or worse about life?
Well, I absolutely don't need any help from anybody. I'm not a toddler.
Yeah.
I'm 68, but I'm not a toddler. I can manage my own finances. Exactly. And this is a typical Starmer excuse. I mean, statistically, you're more likely to be a victim of fraud if you're between the ages of 16 and 35. There's been a lot of studies done on it. I don't know, this is just the beginning, isn't it? It's like the ID is going to stop the boat people. There's nothing to do with the boat people. It's just something you want to bring in tighten everything up on society. You know, it's a terrible situation. I don't know how he thinks he can get away with it.
I mean, one of the things I really dislike about it, Tony, is you won't be told and neither will I. You won't be asked and neither will I. So you won't theoretically even know it's happening. And there doesn't seem to be a power of veto whereby you could say, I, Tony, am 68 and perfectly in possession of all my marbles, and I do not wish anybody at all to have some overview of my finances. Thank you very much. But how are you meant to say that? How are you meant to say, do not dare look at my stuff?
Well, this is part of the problem, isn't it? We're not getting asked. It's just something he just wants to bring it in. We're not getting asked at all. You know, and I think like this. I mean, I live on just my pension. I've got no sort of dog in the fight as far as I'm not a rich person. It's just on principle.
Yeah.
I just think it's disgusting. I think it's one of them things. Well, we can't. He's making it more and more difficult to speak out or to protest. Yeah. And this is part of his plan, isn't it? He's trying to take over the world, isn't he?
I fear you're agreeing with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony's absolutely nailed it. That this is just the beginning. You know, it's ID cards and it's, oh, we're just going to check into your financials for your protection. And then it's clamping down on the right to protest. Like I said, it's this overreach. It's this overarch by the government to be across everything that we are doing. Apparently it's for our own good, and Tony's absolutely right. You know, with the ID card situation, relating it to the quote-unquote stop the boats, it's nothing to do with that. It's just about the government keeping tabs on us.
Let's ask Christine in Dorset. Christine, how would you like that to happen to you?
I bank with First Direct,
right,
and I'm more than happy about the fact that they monitor. Well, yes, effectively they monitor what's happening on my bank account, because like a lot of people, I'm 81, I spend quite a lot of time on Facebook as a time waster, and sometimes I apply for things and there's a foolish thing to do. And my bank is extremely good either at blocking, and it's easy for me then to phone and say, no, actually this is a genuine transaction, or to say, yes, this is a scam, and they recover the money for me. So I'm very happy to have that level of monitoring on my bank account.
Christine, do you mind giving me an example of the sort of thing that you might have clicked on and then afterwards thought, oh gosh, it's a scam, or I don't really want it, or that was a mistake, just because it helps other people to know the sorts of kind of pitfalls you can fall into. What kind of a thing have you had to have the bank rescue you from?
Things that have happened because I've gone on Facebook and ordered something that obviously I don't know its origin. What then happens is that it's a scam event.
Oh, I see.
And so, I mean, I've had things like £38. I was signed up to a thing that puts things on the bottom of your feet to monitor what your walk is like. I had nothing. I didn't ask for this.
Oh, you didn't even ask for it?
Oh, dear.
I'm not surprised you didn't ask for it. It sounds ridiculous.
No, hadn't even been on the site. My surname is Smith. So, I mean, I did get a lot. But they were amazing at actually recovering all of those things that were false.
And Christine, as far as you're aware, do they do it without you asking them to? I mean, the bank, or did you say to the bank, can you have a look for me, please?
Yes. No, I phoned them.
You asked them?
Because I was aware this was happening, because I check my bank statement regularly. I don't have a huge income, and so I need to know what I can spend and what I can't.
Absolutely. Yes.
And so I check my bank and think, what on earth is that transaction? £38? I didn't spend £38. Phone the bank, and they would say, we have to, because with my account it says pending transactions. They can't wait until they have to wait until the transaction's gone through. Then they can reclaim it, and they have done that on numerous occasions.
Well, what an excellent call, and how interesting, isn't it?
I think the lesson is not to buy stuff on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, yeah, but we're all
loads of people do it all
there was,
the time.
yeah, I did buy a very clever sort of double tap, you know, for the outside. I saw an Instagram demonstration and I found myself buying it.
You do it?
It did arrive.
It did happen.
It arrived.
I bought some cleaning products recently, and I somehow managed to buy 2 lots, even though, and I actually got in touch with them and said, This was it was £56.
What was it? What
It
were you
did
trying to
arrive,
clean?
but
What
it was.
did you want
it
to
was-
clean?
Well, it was like the tablet was eco-friendly. It was the tablets that go in the spray bottle.
Right.
And it did arrive, but it wasn't £56 worth. But you know,
Did you get the money back?
no, I didn't get the money back. And they said that I could send it back, but obviously I would have to pay to send it back. And I think they prey on the fact that you don't have the time or the energy to deal with it. And so now I've got all these tablets. It doesn't even smell nice.
Oh dear. Okay,
I
well,
know.
take a lesson from Sarah on that one. Let's go to Chris in Hampshire. What do you think of this, Chris? Could this help people, or is it just snooping and nosy and inappropriate?
Hello, good afternoon, Vanessa. Lovely to talk to you. Yes, I think it should be one way, basically, because I think where the pensioner has committed the crime, it's probably not appropriate, but where the pensioner is a victim of crime, then yes, I think certainly the police should have access to your transactions. Obviously, I've actually been the victim of a crime regarding a tradesman who demanded lots of upfront payments from me for completing the job. I knew it was a scam, and I'd hoped the bank would actually help me to get the money back, but then they didn't. They weren't interested, so having to go to the courts and to try and get it back that way, it's very painful. But yes, there's so much fraud around at the moment.
I mean, there certainly is. As I always say, Chris, thank you so much. I always think it's well worth doing it on the television or the radio or anywhere I'm ever broadcasting, because I always think if we can just name a few scams, at least people will think twice. I always think it really helps other people.
Absolutely.
For example,
Yeah.
if Amazon ever call you, that's
Yes.
a scam. Amazon
Is it
don't-
really?
Yeah, they
Amazon
never
do not
call.
ring. They don't ring
Well,
you.
you can't find a phone number to ring them,
Well, you
can you?
you can ring them.
they
I've rung them a
can't.
few
They
times,
never
but they
ring
can't.
you.
They never ring. So if
Yeah.
the phone rings and they say it's Amazon, it's not.
It's
And the
scam.
post office one as well. If they call you to say, you've got a package and you have to pay $2.95 to have it delivered or whatever,
Not true.
or when you get the text.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
also if
That's
you
a
get an
scam.
email saying you've just been left £150 million
By a
by an
prince
old
Prince of a
lady.
far-flung nation.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
take any
probably
notice.
not true
Unfortunately,
either.
it's not
Yeah,
good
exactly.
news. Let's go to Jenny in West Sussex. Hi, Jenny.
Oh, good afternoon, Vanessa.
Hello, good afternoon. What do you think? Do you feel the bank should have a look at your bank account?
Well, your heading says okay for banks to snoop on pensioners.
Yes.
My issue is, why is it pensioners? Why is it not right across the board? If the banks want to snoop, surely the cleverest of all are the younger generation that know how to inveigle the government to get their pension credits much more than a pensioner. And I just feel they're targeting the wrong people. If the banks want to do it, we're never going to stop them. But not the pensioners. I think it's, we all whinge about seeing mums with phones and gold earrings and babies, and they have got pension credits, and they've probably got money in the bank. So I just truly believe that banks should not be targeting pensioners. It should be right across the board or not at all.
All right, Jenny, you've had the final say on that subject. Thank you very much, and very passionate it was too.